Scientists estimate that there are about 9 million animal species on Earth, but 91% of the marine animals and 86% of our land-based neighbors have yet to be described and cataloged. So, it's not really surprising that every year, researchers continue to discover completely new species of animals that we didn't know about before. And today, we'll tell you about the new species of animals that were recently discovered. Let's go. Paraguayan dolphins. The Paraguayan dolphin is a South American species of river dolphins discovered in 2014 in Brazil in the Araguaia River Basin. According to the scientists, this species separated from its common ancestor with the Amazon dolphins about 2 million years ago, when the Araguaia River lost its confluence with the Amazon River. The scientists have previously thought that these dolphins were the same species as the Amazon dolphins. However, the recent results of its nuclear and mitochondrial DNA studies, as well as morphological characteristics, help scientists prove that it's a new, independent species. The scientists have also established that the Paraguayan dolphins are distantly related to the sea dolphins. As for their physiological characteristics, they have a thin, long snout and small eyes, which don't see well, since vision is almost useless in the muddy river water anyway. The number of Paraguayan dolphins is estimated to range from 600 to 1,500. Tapanuli orangutans. Tapanuli orangutans are a new species of orangutans that was discovered in 2017. Actually, individuals of this kind were first described back in 1997, but they were categorized into a separate species only 3 years ago. The species was found on the Indonesian island of Sumatra in the southern Tapanuli district, in the province of northern Sumatra, hence the name of the animal. Tapanuli orangutans inhabit the area of tropical and subtropical waters, as well as the forests that are located south of Lake Toba. The total area of their habitat is about 1,000 square kilometers. Scientists estimate that less than 800 Tapanuli orangutans live in this area, making the new species rather rare. Using computer simulations, the scientists have found that Tapanuli orangutans came from 2 other orangutan species that have been living in Indonesia for over 20,000 years. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, Tapanuli orangutans are the first new species of monkeys discovered on the planet since 1929, which makes the discovery even more important. On the one hand, the discovery of the new species is a real breakthrough in the scientific community, but on the other hand, the researchers are worried that the Tapanuli orangutans may suffer the same fate that befell the Steller cows, which became extinct 27 years after they were discovered and described as a species. Let's hope the orangutans won't face the same fate. Pelican spiders. The year before last, the scientists discovered 18 new species of pelican spiders in Madagascar. These spiders got their name from their massive jaw that looks like a pelican head. These are, actually, amazing species, which don't only look different, but also behave rather strangely. In particular, they hunt other arachnids right in their habitats and crawl upside down under the leaves. These individuals are also known for their extraordinary way of hunting. Instead of weaving a web, they crawl through the night forest in pursuit of other spiders. When they find their victim, they tear the threads in its web, imitating an entangled insect, and when the owner of the trap crawls out to check out the prey, the pelican spider strikes it with its long, poisonous jaws. As for the 18 species that were discovered, they were sorted and described by the scientists from the U.S. National Museum of Natural History and the University of Copenhagen, who were studying the Madagascar arthropods. Scientists note that although all species have a similar shape, they can be distinguished from each other by the length of their jaws, the number of spines, and the pattern on their abdomen. It should also be noted that all pelican spiders living today are similar to those that survived in the amber of the Jurassic period. This makes the pelican spiders a kind of living fossil. Rock-eating shipworm. In the summer of 2019, American scientists found shipworms in the Philippines that don't live in wood, but in the limestone banks of the Atacama River in the Philippines. The specimens found are mollusks. They live at a depth of about 2 meters and are 5 to 10 millimeters long. The scientists concluded that these worms make tunnels in limestone with their shells. Unlike the shells of regular shipworms, the shells of the new species are distinguished by a smooth edge with no small notches. The most amazing thing about the new species is that their intestines turned out to be filled with crushed calcite, the elemental composition of which is identical to the composition of the limestone in which these individuals live. This means that the shipworm doesn't just drill holes in the rock, but also feeds on it. Ruby sea dragon. In 2015, ichthyologists discovered 3 interesting specimens of fish in the storerooms of the Australian Natural History Museum. They resembled a leafy sea dragon, but without the characteristic protrusions, which this species used to hide in the thickets of algae. As it turns out, one of the 3 fish had been in the museum for almost 100 years and was found on a local beach back in 1919. The other 2 fish were caught in 2007 off the west coast of Australia. Genome sequencing of the sample confirmed that the fish is a new species that was previously unknown to science. The new species was named the ruby sea dragon, and scientists suggested that unlike other sea dragons, ruby ones live far from popular diving sites. That's probably why it took the researchers so long to discover this species. Moreover, the dark red color of these sea dragons also helped them stay unknown, since they were virtually invisible in dark waters at great depths. Olenguito. Olenguito is a mammal from the Bassarician genus of the raccoon family. This species is also called Bassarician neblina, but it also has the name Olenguito for convenience. It means little oling in Spanish. A new species was discovered in 2014 in Ecuador. This is the first carnivorous mammal discovered in the New World in the last 35 years. Olenguitos live in South America in the humid mountain forests of Ecuador and western Colombia, which grow on the slopes of the western and central northern Andes. Perhaps of all the discoveries on this list, Olenguito is the cutest one because it sort of looks like a mixture of a teddy bear and a domestic cat. It is worth noting that in addition to the scientific importance of the discovery of the new animal, the fact that this animal looks like a plush toy helped it make a splash among animal lovers. 7 years ago, Olenguito got onto the top 10 new animal species list in 2014. Atacama sea slugs. In 2018, scientists managed to discover 3 new fish species that lived at a depth of over 7 kilometers in the Pacific Ocean. New individuals were found in the Atacama Trench, located west of Chile and Peru, during an expedition in the Pacific Ocean. The researchers have captured 3 new species of the elusive sea slugs on video. Previously unknown fish were temporarily named by their color, pink, cyan, and purple. The camera captured the interaction of the inhabitants of the depths, as well as their feeding process. Scientists note that the new species of sea slugs differ from many other deep-sea fish by their small size and low weight. At the same time, researchers believe that these small and peaceful individuals are the top of the food chain in their ecosystem, since there are no competitors in their habitat. The scientists concluded that the gelatinous structure of the newly discovered slugs means they are well adapted to living in extremely high pressure. The hardest parts of their bodies are the bones in the inner ear that allow them to maintain balance, as well as their teeth. However, this is only true in their habitat. If the Atacama slugs are raised to the surface, their bodies become fragile. Nevertheless, the researchers did manage to get one specimen to study. It was raised from the bottom in relatively good condition. Vanu rat. After years of searching, scientists from the Field Museum of Natural History of the United States and the Conservation Organization of the Solomon Islands found a huge rat that lived in trees and ate nuts. The rat, named Vika by the locals, was spotted and caught on the island of Vanu, which is part of the Solomon Islands. The rat sat in the foliage of a felled tree. Unfortunately, the animal died soon after it was captured, so the zoologist had to work with a lifeless body. However, even that was enough for them to conduct sufficient research and confirm that the animals belonged to a new species. The rat was described and isolated into a new species, Uromys vika, although in non-scientific circles, the new animal is often referred to simply as the Vanu rat. Vanu rats are known to live on trees, including felled ones, and feed on nuts, coconuts, and fruit. Because the natural habitat of the new rats is being continuously destroyed by the felling of trees, the new species will probably be soon recognized as a species on the verge of complete extinction. That's all. Let us know in the comments which of these new species of animals you like the most. Thank you very much for watching.